Hi guys, if you're a Sony fan, you must have heard about the amazing FX30 released in late 2022. Some people claimed it is the best entry-level cinematic camera. It is great indeed, but in the end I chose A74, a full-frame camera, over FX30. And in this video I want to share with you the reasons why. Let's quickly go through the pros and cons of these two cameras. First, Sony A74 is a full-frame camera, so naturally you will have more lenses to experiment. This way you can get better bokeh, and I'm aware that full-frame lenses are heavier, but some third-party lenses are not that big, that heavy, and that expensive. For example, you can get a Sony or Vilchex 85mm f1.4 for bokeh and for low light. As for zoom lens, Sigma offers a 28-70 standard zoom and 16-28mm wide zoom. Both are f2.8, super sharp and lightweight. Tamron 28-75 G2 is perfect, and the previous version is actually still a great option with a pretty affordable price tag if you don't mind getting a second-hand lens. Tamron 70-180 f2.8 is lightweight and high quality if you want more reach. Tamron 28-200 is perfect for traveling because it has f2.8 aperture at 28mm. It is able to reach out up to 300mm on APSC mode, and of course the optical quality is pretty good. If you just want to carry one lens on your trip, this is a great option. I have actually bought this lens myself already, so I will be sharing more about this combination in the future. The second advantage about A74 is that you will get better low light performance, since A74 has a larger sensor than FX30. When the ISO is set to 6400 and above, you can see that A74 produces less noise than FX30. And the image from A74 is usable even when the ISO is set to 10,000, which is amazing. This is due to the next pro, Dual Base ISO. Well, FX30 offers Dual Base ISO as well. However, this function in FX30 is nothing to write home about. Firstly, the gap between the two base ISOs, 800 and 2500, is not large enough to produce a significant difference. I mean, for the situations when you need ISO 2500, the base ISO of 800 can basically handle it pretty well. In other words, when you have an 800 base ISO, you don't really need a base ISO at 2500. As a result, when you look at the noise test videos by other YouTubers, you don't see an obvious jump when the ISO changed from 2000 to 2500, as there isn't much noise for you to clean up. But 3200 seems to be an acceptable choice. The reduction of the noise is more visible, and it also allows the camera to reach a higher usable capacity up to 10,000. The number 4 advantage of A74 is that it is better for hybrid photographers because it has a viewfinder. Number 5, although when you use 120 FPS, you only have the resolution of 1080, but when you upscale to 4K, the footage might look better than FX30 in 4K 120 FPS, and the autofocus will be better in this condition. Number 6, even though it is a full-frame camera, you can still use APS-C lenses, and when you do, you will have further reach. For example, when I use a 50mm APS-C lens on A74, it will look like a 75mm lens. And even when you use APS-C lenses, you still have enough resolution for videos. Number 7, A74 has both mechanical shutter and electronic shutter, so you can decide when to use which by yourself. When you use mechanical shutter, the rolling shutter distortion can be reduced. Now, what about the pros of FX30? First, FX30 has custom LUTs on camera, so you can preview the final result on the monitor. This function could come useful in a lot of cases. Second, FX30 is more suitable for videos as it has several mounting points on the camera body, so you can add a lot of accessory on it. For example, an external mic or a monitor. It should also be noted that sometimes one accessory takes up two mounting holes. The first and obvious reason I chose A74 over FX30 is because I already own a Sony ZV-E10, which is an APS-C camera, so surely it would make more sense if I upgrade to a full-frame camera. This way I can use one lens on both cameras and enjoy the different focal length, as if I doubled the amount of my lenses. The second reason, which is also why I think it is still worth buying A74 in 2023, is that there is high-quality second-hand A74 available out there, and it's cheaper than FX30. When you look at it this way, you spend less on a full-frame camera than an APS-C camera, then it makes even more sense to buy an A74. Both are great cameras in my view. FX30 is a cooler one, especially when your focus is in video filming. It is the most affordable high-quality Sony cinema camera. But I take both videos and photos, and I want to use the camera in low light condition when I go camping. So a hybrid camera like A74 makes more sense for me. Moreover, I have never used a full-frame camera before, so I would like to explore that field and to compare it with my Sony ZV-E10. In terms of the price, I can find a cheaper second-hand A74 than a new FX30 in my area. I don't mind using a second-hand camera, and some of them look almost like a new one. Finally, when portability is the main concern, I can always bring my ZV-E10 or use APS-C lenses on my A74. In the future, I will be making more comparisons between A74 and my Sony ZV-E10, including maybe stabilization, low light conditions, and of course a lot of POV videos. So stay tuned if you're interested. I'll see you next time. Bye.